Hey guys, once upon a time, the Satori show almost did not continue. Um, the Satori show, for those of you who don't know about it, it started as a podcast. It was actually an idea of a friend of mine's. Um, he he's been a producer of a couple different things in the Seattle area. And he'd been watching me. We'd been friends for like over 20 years, and he just had seen me develop my abilities and all of this for a long time, and has always really encouraged me. So he gets this idea and this inspiration. Amy, you've got to do a podcast. People need to know about you. They need to hear you. Need some exposure here. And he says, you're doing an amazing thing. Like, we just got to get you heard. And so when he first proposed the idea, I was very resistant to it, believe it or not. I was like, yeah, you put yourself out there publicly and then you get ridiculed, and then you get, all kinds of people having opinions about what you're saying. You get people opposing you. And I said, I have a lot of really out of the box, unconventional types of things that I believe in, that I say and that I teach. And I said, it would rub a lot of people the wrong way, including the old me, And he was just like, yeah, but for those that it would impact, it would be worth it. Don't you think, So he really pushed me. And it was nice. And he actually agreed to do it for free. And so I just, how do you say no ultimately to that? How do you say no to that? So I went ahead and I did it. And so he used to get on the show and he used to introduce me, and then he would kind of interview me, or like sometimes we would have guests. And this is all on Podbean. If you go there, go to Podbean. Well, I think it's www.thesatorishow.podbean.com. I'm not sure, but it's in the links below. It's in a link below. I used to say it all the time, but I haven't said it for a while because I haven't really done it for a long time. Anyway, the show became a great success. It took off, and we got lots and lots of views. And then we were talking about how it would develop, and the long-term plan, shorter term plans, mid-term plans, long-term plans. And we had it all figured out. We had it all worked out. We talked almost every day on the project, what we would talk about the next week or the next talk, or what kind of guests would come on, what my objective would be, like what we were going to try to get at, what's the point we're trying to make with this guest, what are the key things we want to, all of that stuff. We brainstormed. We were like a couple of little kids creating some fun things, but he did most of the work. All I did was just get on the phone, get on my microphone, have my equipment ready, and then I would just answer questions and stuff like that. All right, so there came a point about a year and a half ago. Gosh, maybe it's been 2 years now. I don't know. It's been a little bit, but the Satori show came to a screeching halt when Kevin decided not to participate anymore. I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but he bowed out suddenly and was gone. And what's crazy is I had predicted it would happen, and I knew it was going to. And yeah, and he was like, no, that would never happen. That would never happen. And it did. And I was like, oh, okay. So here we are. And so in that moment, even the most positive of us, even those, and you guys know this very well, you little light workers, you do have your moments when you kind of crash. And that was one of my moments. That was like, okay, so what now? I guess that's over. That was short-lived, because the show had gone for like, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years or something, but it had done really well. So I was really kind of disappointed that was it, okay. And so I really had to just, think that through. And I was like, I really was like, okay, I guess it's over. I guess that's the end of it. And I guess that's it. And even though there'd been all these predictions about a radio show, a TV show, like all this stuff that I had been predicting for a while. And even friends of mine have been like affirming and confirming as to like where my career is going to go. I was still like, well, okay, maybe I chose a different timeline. Maybe because he did that, it switched everything up now. Everything is going to be different or something like that, right? So, and I was really sad and I was angry at him because I was like, the reason that he left, I actually addressed it when he first came on. I was like, just so you know, this is what's up. And I told him, and he still like, I don't know, all this time later, it came back around to the very thing that I said in the first place. And I was like, okay, but it just shows you everything is meant to be, he had to lie to himself, maybe lie to me or whatever, that whole time until finally he was like, well, I guess she was telling the truth from the beginning. Maybe I should have listened to the first thing she said. Okay, but anyway. So I had this moment where I was like gonna give up and I was feeling really down about it and I was really upset with him about it. And then he flared up and wanted to do all this retaliation and all this crazy stuff. And I was just like, okay, well, all of it was really shitty. All of it was really, really shitty and unnecessary, And I was like, okay, well, so I had a couple of choices. I was either going to just really be upset about it and let it be a huge major bruise in my life, or I was going to follow my own advice. And I actually sat there for a moment and I said, what would I tell someone else to do? What would I say if I was asking my own advice on a show? And I really contemplated that for a moment. I was like, thank you, God, for my misery. Thank you, God, for my damn misery, because this is really miserable. It's awful to go through. I had to consult my attorney and everything. I was like, what the hell? Like, nobody wants to go through this kind of crap, like what? So I did. I took out a pad of paper, and many of you misunderstand this exercise. Somebody just sent me a note this morning, and it was cute because she was just like, thank you, God, for this horrible thing. Thank you, God, for that horrible thing. Thank you, God, for that horrible thing. Thank you, God, for that horrible thing. Thank you, God, for that. And I was like, that's not going to do you any good. Just thanking God for that. Like, what? I started laughing. I was like, well, that's a nice try. That's like a little tiny, little bitty piece of it, but that's not even close to going to have the impact of what I teach. So I wanted to do a video to specifically let you guys know exactly how it's done, like precisely how it's done, that will actually make a huge impact in your life. Okay? Which it did for me in that moment that I really needed it. I was so proud of myself to listen to myself and just be like, all right, let's do this. When I took a pad of paper out like this, I listed at the top, thank you, God, that, that this is happening with that the Satori show is ending. Thank you, God, that the Satori show is ending. Or thank you, God, I think I said, thank you, God, that Kevin took off on me. Thank you, God, that he took off on me. Then I numbered. See all of those numbers that go all the way down the page? I listed all the benefits and the advantages as to why it was a good thing that he took off on me unexpectedly. And you could even be like specific about that. Thank you, God, that he took off and gave me no warning. Thank you, God. It could have been like, here's all the different ways I could have put it. Thank you, God, that he lied to me and lied to himself the whole time and wasted both of our time, right? Thank you, God, that he betrayed me and stabbed me in the back. Thank you, God, that I had all these fears and things come up around all kinds of different things. I could have made many of them on that. Thank you, God, that my one trusted friend turned on me. Thank you, God, that I don't know, but you could go at it from all these different, just one topic. You could go on it in many, many different angles, many, many different angles. And the more creative you can get with it, the better. And the idea actually is to put at the top of the page, Thank you, God, for whatever the horrible thing is, right? And then you're going to list 10 to 15 advantages or benefits, but that's not it. That's not all. Then, if you can come up with 20, that's even better. And then you can go to the next page. Thank you, God, from this other angle of the same thing. Thank you, God, from this totally different angle. And then list all those. Flip the page over. Thank you, God, for this other terrible thing. List all the advantages and benefits on the next page. Do this for like a half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Like light a candle, do it at a time when you're not going to get interrupted by the kids or anything going on. Like make it a meditative time and seriously like reflect. And do that for like, I'm serious, you guys, like it's 1 hour of your life that will be like the best hour spent ever. It's that it will help you so much. And even if you can't come up with good things, like come up with humorous things or sarcastic things, or like really, you got to really, the whole idea behind this exercise is to really get your brain to reach, just really get it to reach and really, really think. Because when I started doing the list on the Satori show, one of the things that came up was, wow, it could teach me new skills and abilities if I wanted to recreate the show. And that was the first occurrence that I was like, oh, I could recreate the show? I was thinking it was impossible because I didn't know how to be a producer, right? And then I was like, I could recreate the show. I could learn how to use all the background stuff, how to be a producer. I could learn how to be a producer. And I learned all the different software it would take. I learned all the different, I had 3 days. It was a stiff learning curve, but I had 3 days to learn everything that he knew. I wasn't his personality, but I could learn all the technical stuff, right? And then I thought, well, then if I were recreating the show, then I could make it however I want, right? So then I could do the whole thing according to what I want. And I wouldn't have anybody to actually say they don't like it that way or whatever, right? So then I did everything. And then I hired somebody to do the voiceover part in the beginning. I hired a professional, talked to my attorney as to a good what do you call it? Disclaimer for the beginning of the show, because it's important, and it's important especially when you're talking about subjects that ruffle people's feathers and that people could take the wrong way, and especially in this day and age. So anyway, I paid money to do a voiceover guy, and then if that made me feel good, just sometimes it feels good to have like a male too. Is like I hired a male to be the protector at the beginning. This is not to be taken seriously. She is not a professional, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, there's the guy at the beginning. That's like, I don't know why that made me feel better, but it did. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes you just need a man. So then it was like, okay, well then I guess I just, the whole show took a turn. And everybody started to talk about how much they loved the new show, and they really didn't, they didn't like him anyway. They didn't like how he was. They didn't like how there were a lot of different very positive feedback I got when I put in all of this work. And all of that, it paid off. And I was sitting at the microphone in the basement of the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder. And I was like, the whole store had been shut down, and I was working retail at the time. And I was back there in the basement with all these books and all these like products and things all around me. And I was with this microphone, and I was like, it was like crickets, because nobody was asking me any questions or anything. I had to do all the talking. I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to say. You guys, it's not easy doing what I do. It's definitely not easy. A lot of you are like, how do I get from where I'm at right now to where you're at, where you're totally confident and comfortable? It took a lot of very uncomfortable moments to get here, trust me, because I just sat there. If you guys listen to that archive show, you will see how awkward I was and how I did. I mean, I think I literally said, I'm just sitting here in a basement and I don't know what to say to you guys, but I just want to keep the momentum of the show going. So I'm just going to talk about my life. And I just started talking about, like, I think I just I did a whole outline of my whole entire life and went through and just shared my life with you and kind of felt like, let's get to know each other. Let's get reacquainted all over again and just begin from zero and build up again. So, and it worked very, very well. And that show took off, and then it led to the Tune In radio show. So, you know, this exercise I'm teaching you guys, if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I don't know what I would have done, but I was not going forward. Maybe I would have kept creating certain videos on YouTube, but the whole show and all that stuff. Mm-mm. And I did actually think of quitting other things. I mean, I was that kind of fed up and that upset about the setback. That's what those setbacks will do if you don't learn to turn them around. So I thought I would do an example. I'm going to timestamp this so you guys could go right to how to do this exercise right now. Okay. So it says, I'm going to deal with a current topic. Thank you, God, for COVID-19. Yeah. Woo! Are we really happy for it? No, hell no. But bear with me as we go through the exercise. It's not going to be something that you're not going to be working on something that you're actually grateful for. But that's kind of the objective, is to turn it around to where it empowers you rather than disables or disempowers you. All right. Number 1. Thank you, God, for COVID-19. Now, it's about the vibration that you put out, not the words that you're saying. Keep that in mind. You're not creating more of COVID-19. You're saying, I thank you, God, for the experience of what's happening in my now, And when you put out that vibration, you're attracting more of that wonderful, grateful vibration, okay? Number 1, it's bringing out our worst fears so we can take a look and heal them. Number 2, it's giving us the opportunity to go within for the answers. Number 3, it's giving us the opportunity to heighten our intuition, knowledge, and skills in our spare time. Number 4, it's causing bonding and truths with those we truly resonate with, and for lies to come to the forefront to be dealt with accordingly. 5, it's given us a timeout to think about our lives and Mother Earth. 6, it's making us appreciate that which we hold dear. Number 7, it's causing positive changes to occur with the way things operate, a restructuring behind the scenes, if you will. Number 8, it's giving us the time to work on certain passion projects and find our purpose. Number 9, it's waking up our planet to ascending spiritually. 10, it's bringing us back to the basics. Number 11, it's leveling the playing field. Everyone is in the same exact situation right now. There's no hierarchy. There's no celebrities. We're all just human beings right now. We're not a race. We're not a color. We are not in different countries. We are human beings stuck in our homes. That's it. We're all the same. We're all totally the same right now. Number 12, it's getting our creative juices flowing. Now, some of you guys are going to laugh at that because, yeah. 13, it's allowing us the time to have deep talks and reflection. Number 14, it's made us appreciate our liberties and our autonomy. 15, we're rethinking everything. Everything. 16, we're all in this together. 17, we're boosting our chi, vital life force energy, By doing practices like meditation, qigong, yoga, tai chi, which is energetically healing our planet and manifesting positive changes on a larger scale than normal. 18, we're doing spring cleaning and getting organized. That's always a good thing. And I'm going to add another one, that we're bonding with angels when we do that. When we clean up our environment, we raise our chi and everything, the angels are attracted to us. Don't forget to ask for the angels' help. They cannot help you unless you ask. That was confirmation. Wow. That was pretty cool. That was like right on cue. 19, we're listening to music and other things we enjoy we don't usually take the time to do. 20, we're noticing our weakest links within to make them stronger. Okay, so I listed 20 things just for that one, okay? So then, if you're doing my exercise, then you would go to the next thought. Thank you, God, that I'm bored out of my mind. Thank you, God, that I'm missing the hell out of hugging that person I love or those people that I love. Thank you, God, that I had to have Easter all by myself, all alone. Thank you, God, that I'm so lonely. Thank you, God, that this whole thing is driving me crazy. Thank you, God, that I'm worried to death. Thank you, God, that, gosh, what else? Thank you, God, that I'm getting to sleep in. I mean, no, that's not it. That's not one, because that's not negative. Okay. So thank you, God. Thank you, God. So you guys can just do this. You got it now. You got it. So just list the negative thing at the top of the page. 10 to 15 advantages or benefits. Don't just do 5 and quit. That's where you have to rack your brain and come up with all of them. Flip the page, do it again. Flip the page, do it again. Flip the page, repeat. Many, many times for like 45 minutes or so on everything you can possibly think of. You can even go back to, thank you, God, that I was molested as a kid. Thank you, God, that I was a fat kid that got made fun of all the time. Thank you, God, that I was teased for being anorexic my whole life. Thank you, God, that, I had this total disadvantage. Thank you, God, that I have this learning disability. Thank you, God, that I have this disease. Thank you, God, that, whatever it is. Things in the past, things in the present, things in the future. You don't really know the things in the future, but if you're afraid of things in the future, just like write those down. Write those down. You guys have plenty of time to do this. All this requires is 1 hour, and it has the potential to change your life. And if you do the exercise and you come back, I would love to hear the comments below as to how it did shift things for you and help you to come out of the victim mentality and make you feel more powerful, and also realize just how smart you were. Your higher self was incredibly smart to put you through exactly the things that you've been put through for a purpose and for a reason. And you're going to see that. It's going to become blatantly obvious as you tackle one thing after another. All right, guys, you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. And if you need me, I'm always available at amysatori.com/services, and am happy to help anytime you need me. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Hey, if you like my videos, please share, subscribe, and set your bell notifications on so you'll know the moment they come out. Also, don't forget that you can go to my website and order a personal reading at amysatori.com/services. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.